far beyond that. Next up, we have Paul Browning, also hometown Colorado Springs, former wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. He's a CSU Pueblo graduate, national champion, All-American, and All-Conference. And so when he comes out right now, let's make some noise and give it up to him.
Thank you, Travis. Voice sounds good. I like it. How you guys doing? JoJo has some great things to say. I really appreciate JoJo. I appreciate the Doman family. Thank you guys again for having me out this year. I wanted to take this in a certain direction, and then I'm in the back doing dinner early on. Nick, I'm not going to put anything out there, but me and Nick Tiano, we're having a good conversation. And usually when I come here, I try to say something that I feel like, well, maybe it's a motivational thing for kids, telling them, you know, you can do it and things like that. And I think this may point a little bit more towards the adults, I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be good, though, because as adults, we're always able to give back and teach and often lecture, right? The kids, the youth. But I just wanted to start this off with a couple things right off the bat. So I played with the Panthers, right? Of course. That was 2015, okay? I did not go to the Super Bowl. I wish that I could tell you guys that. I went to the Super Bowl and played in the Super Bowl. That didn't happen. Another thing in my life, I was not a Hall of Famer. I was in the NFL in 2015, and I was out by the end of 2015. It's tough. That's what it is. I say these things because I wanted to come with a message about weathering the storm. I think that's something that's super important for us. And like I said, I think this may totally reach to adults, maybe even better than some of the kids that we have in the building. So me and Nick are talking about post-football stuff. JoJo was able to come up here and talk to you a little bit about his mind state when it came to him tearing his knee up in 2017 and how he had to think, okay, maybe, like, who am I, past football? It's a very difficult question to answer for people who felt like they've done this we've been trying to do this for our entire life. And you only play football for such a small amount of time, right? That's something that's how it goes. And it's a dream. And very quickly it can get cut short. And then there's so much more life after that we have to live. So one of the things that was a blessing to me, hearing JoJo talk about, life's not happening to you, it's happening for you, was once you flip that switch and you start accepting a lot of things that are going on in your life, and you figure out what your real purpose is. Because, see, I thought my purpose was to be like the best football player on the planet. I know we've all had those things in our mind where, maybe you wanted to be an astronaut or whatever. You want to be a rock star, cool. I think Craig wanted to be like in a rock band or something growing up, whatever, So that's, we all have those things that we strive for. But at the end of the day, through my time, I was able to figure out the things that mattered the most to me, the things that I am really proud of. I was able to figure out years after playing football where my passion lies at and what's really important to me when it comes to me dealing with youth, me dealing with my community, me dealing with my city. So I'm going to start that out with, I was able to be a part of a pretty cool movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's American Underdog, Kurt Warner story. So Kurt Warner's an awesome dude. And if you know anything about him, he's a man of faith. And he's just an unbelievable, humble guy. In his story, which I've talked about a little bit, Tiano, when you go watch it, you may cry. As tough as you are, you might do it. Because it really does hit close to home, definitely for us athletes, but I think it's something that hit close to home for just the everyday person too. Because this was a guy, if you know anything about his story, he plays college football at a very small school, wants to get drafted. He doesn't get drafted. He goes unsigned to the Green Bay Packers. He gets an opportunity to play. And when he's in camp, he's too scared to get out on the field, so they cut him the next day. I'm totally ruining the movie for everybody who hasn't seen it. But what ended up happening is he goes and works in a local supermarket in Iowa, and so many different things happen to him. And he ends up getting signed after playing in the Arena Football League. I played in the Arena Football League, you know what I mean? So he plays in the Arena Football League for a couple years, gets some steam behind him, gets signed by the Rams, wins MVP the first season that he plays off of a fluke injury from a multi-million-dollar quarterback. He gets it, Trent Green, he tears his knee up in the preseason, and then Kurt Warner comes in, and team rallies behind him. He wins the MVP, takes his team to the Super Bowl, and they win the Super Bowl. The year before, the guy was like bagging groceries. You know what I'm saying? And through all of that, obviously they did the movie for him. I get to be in the movie and just say a little bit about the guy. He's there during all the filming, and we're doing lunch with the crew and the cast, and it's a movie about him, and he's all the way in the back of the line. Like, he's letting all of us go. It's like, dude, it's your movie. Like, cut us. But it just tells you a little bit about who he is and where his passion lays, or lies. Grammar, right? Where his passions were at. Because if you were to read any of his books or you were to listen to him talk, he was really focused on what he can do for everybody else now. Now that he's done what he's done, how can he share his story? How can his story be a part of helping everybody else out? So that's why I start off by telling you guys I did not win a Super Bowl or play in a Super Bowl or become a Hall of Fame wide receiver like I wanted to. In fact, I did a lot of things. I accomplished a whole lot of things. I won a national championship. I won conference titles. I obviously got to play in the NFL. I scored in an NFL game. Played another 5 years of professional football. Was on SportsCenter plenty of times. Loved it. I had an excellent time playing football. And even after all of that, COVID comes around, and that was my last year playing football. And I was in such a dark place when I could not play anymore. At least when I felt like that time was coming. It put me in a very dark place. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It sounds immature, but I would act out, I guess. I don't know what that totally means. But I wasn't myself. And it took me going through those things and trying to answer that question of who am I after football that brought me onto this journey. And I got a wife. She's beautiful. But she would always tell me, Paul, you're so much more than a football player. And I think that was something that I always knew. God would always be trying to tell me that and show me those things. But I was never accepting of it until after I stopped playing football and I started coaching. I started working with other players. My man Day-Day's up here. I did some coaching for Day-Day when it comes to some receiver stuff. But once I realized that everything that's happening in my life, everything I'm going through right now, maybe it's not entirely even for me. Yes, it's happening for me, but it maybe not even be entirely my story just for me. It's something that I can now have a testimony and share with others so they can understand and navigate their life. Because everybody in here is going through something. That's just the facts of it. Everybody in here is going through something. You've got something that you're dealing with. You may not want to be open about it. Maybe something behind closed doors. Maybe something that you wear on your shoulders. Be wearing your sleeve. Once again, my grammar, man, it's crazy. I graduated from college too, y'all. I did. But it may be something that you wear on your sleeve. But either way, we're all going through something. And once I figured that, you know what, I'm going to tell this story because I need to let people know who may not think it is, or it's okay to let it be known. It is okay to go through what you're going through. It's totally fine. And you will make it out on the other side. You never have not made it out on the other side. Every single time, every single thing you've been through, you've made it through. You're sitting right here. Okay? Amen to that. Real quick, amen to that. Because y'all have been through so much in life. And a lot of the kids in here, they don't understand that just yet. They don't understand that sometimes your dreams of how you thought things were going to go, they don't go that way. But that's not the end of the world. You're not done there. You've never been done. There's so much more for you to accomplish. And that needs to be something that we start speaking so much more onto our people, just into our community, that you are so much more, and you can be, than just how you thought that this road was going to go. And actually, the road, it curves like that because it was supposed to curve like that for you. And you were supposed to be where you're supposed to be at. All right? So I want you guys, if you could take anything away from what I'm saying, like I said, I want to bring it right back to weather the storm. All right? I may not be able to come up here and give you a bunch of accolades. I don't want to. I don't need to tell you about whatever records I hold, whatever. That's not the stuff at the end of the day that really actually matters to me. It's not. Because the important thing is how we can bond as humans and talk and help each other grow and get through this journey of life. How we can help these little ones grow up and figure it out. So I'm happy to say I feel pretty good about myself and my life and where I'm going. I'm still navigating it. And, I'm going to always need your guys' help. I'll probably see you guys out in the community. I'm going to need you guys' help a lot of times, just always reminding each other that that's what we're always going to get over. We're always going to be fine, even though you are going through those certain things. All right. So I guess that was all I got for you guys. I know that time is starting to run. So thank you guys so much. Do not ever forget to weather the storm. You can accomplish everything. You can accomplish whatever you want to. You work hard. You can put your mind to it. You can do it. But at the same time, sometimes when those things don't happen the way you thought they were going to happen, it's not that it's not happening the way it meant to. It's happening exactly the way it meant to happen. So it's time for us to embrace that and continue to grow and fight our way and make our way through life, okay? So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I hope I was able to get a good message out to y'all.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, man.